CMSportsNet covered the 2023 spring sports season, bringing you the best games and moments from boys lacrosse and girls lacrosse. And we chronicled the top teams and athletes in baseball, softball, track and field, and tennis. From Game of the Week broadcasts to a playoff highlights show, we had you covered throughout the spring. We talked to the top athletes and coaches from each sport, and we followed Carroll County's best teams all the way through the playoffs. Now, it's time to take a look back at the highlights. We'll talk to the coaches of Carroll's two state champion girls lacrosse teams, and we'll unveil our choices for Player of the Year for each sport, as well as a cumulative Athlete of the Year for the 22-23 sports year. Plus, we'll check in on how some of the spring sports teams fared at McDaniel College. So settle in as we bring you the CMSportsNet Spring Sports Wrap-Up Show. Hi everybody, I'm your host Pat Stoetzer. I'm joined by Liberty Girls Lacrosse coach Tom Brandell, who this spring guided the Lions to a third straight Class 1A state championship. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. And actually just want to give us some brief thoughts about your season in 2023.
The Liberty Lions had an outstanding season, better than I projected. To only have one loss with the schedule we played, was outstanding, and I'm really proud of the girls' accomplishments.
Great, thank you. Now, before we dive a little deeper into Liberty, let's take a look at how the other county teams fared this spring. Westminster put together a 4-game win streak in May and advanced to the 3A state semifinals before falling to Severna Park in overtime. The Owls finished 12-6 and 4-2 in the Carroll County Athletic League, led by senior Jess Kent and her 67 goals. Now, Kent totaled 89 points on the year, and senior Paige Moreland led Carroll County with 45 assists. Century posted a 10-6 record and went 3-3 in county play, and the Knights suffered 3 losses by 1 goal along the way. The last of those came in the regional playoffs when Glenelg prevailed 9-8. Senior Jane Brewer led Century with 52 goals, and junior Delaney Sandbank added a team-high 32 assists. South Carroll went 2-4 against county teams, but the Cavaliers got hot late in the year. SC reeled off 5 wins in a row before facing Liberty a second time in the playoffs and coming up short. Still, the Cavs went 10-6 and featured standouts in senior Shannon McTavish, who had 47 goals and 72 points, and junior Leah Miller, who had 67 goals, tied for second most in the county. Coach Brandell, your team beat all 3 of those teams by 1 goal each time, and 2 of those games went to overtime. How much do you think that supports the idea that a lot of people know this, that Carroll County is so strong across the board in girls lacrosse?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I think when we look at our county schedule each year, if we can go 3-3 in this county, I think that's where we want to be or better. It's an extremely challenging county to play in.
Thank you. Let's get back into the season in review. Winters Mill posted a 500 season as the Falcons finished 7-7, 1-5 in the county, and they celebrated their first playoff win since 2019. They won 4 games in a row before bowing out in the playoffs against Manchester Valley. Sienna Perryman paced the team with 60 points, while Caitlin Clements had a team-high 31 goals. Francis Scott Key went winless in county play, but the Eagles went 5-0 against Frederick and Washington County foes. They also pounded Pikesville in the regular season finale, and they went 6-9 on the season. Sierra Rose tallied 35 goals for FSK, and Drew Watkins had 32 points and 55 draw controls. Now it's time to dive into Liberty's 2023 season. Like Coach said, it was a good one. The Lions came into the spring as 2-time reigning Class 1A state champions, and they defeated every reigning champ from the previous year along the way. That included a regular season win over rival Century, 6-5 in overtime. Man Valley beat Liberty on March 30th, but the Lions never lost a game the rest of the way. They capped that run with a 14-10 win over Falston in their third straight 1A finals matchup. Riley Matheson led the Lions with 85 points, and she netted 52 goals, while Taylor Gendrick collected 61 points and had 6 goals in the state final. Jenna Evans added 52 points and was solid on the draw control, and Liberty featured standout defenders in twin sisters Izzy Lucas and Julia Lucas. Coach, coming into the spring as the 2-time reigning champs, how did this year's team deal with the pressure associated with that on their back?
I think once you win one state championship, you kind of have a target on your back. I don't think the target gets really any bigger when you win a second or a third. Everyone knows we're good, so everyone plans for us, and I think the girls handled that adversity well.
Yep. Now, you guys were well-rounded across the board. Riley Matheson sort of leading the way as one of your senior leaders. How'd you see her grow into becoming one of the top players in the area?
She's kind of like the quarterback of our offense. She's her parents are coaches, so she's the player of coaches. So her lacrosse IQ is up there, but also her work ethic. She's the type of girl that will stay after practice and work with other girls and get them better. So she developed over the past 4 years greatly, and I'm looking forward to seeing how she does at ECU.
Yeah, absolutely. Your girls placed second in Carroll County, like we said, finished on a 13-game winning streak with another state championship. But I know right after that game you talked about that special stat that your seniors had. How important was that, and what was the stat?
The stat was that the seniors never lost a playoff game.
Yeah.
So, we've lost in 5 years that I've been at Liberty, we've lost one playoff game. But just knowing that, hey, these seniors could get through here without losing a playoff game, to me was a huge accomplishment. So, it was awesome.
Was it talked about during the season that they had a chance to do that, or did you surprise them at the end of the year with that?
No, I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I knew it in my own head,
Yeah.
and I just kept it on the down low and was hoping I could say it at the end.
Yeah, sweet reward for sure. Before we finish up with Liberty, let's take a look back at the Lions Class 1A state finals matchup with Falston. For the third time in as many years, it was from May 23rd at Stevenson University. For the third time in as many seasons, Liberty and Falston faced off in the Class 1A Girls Lacrosse State Championship game. The latest taking place May 23rd at Stevenson University's Mustang Stadium. The Lions were going after a third straight title. The Cougars looking for their first since 2012. Falston nets the first 2 goals of the game before Liberty responds. Senior attacker Taylor Jendrick scores from free position, and the Lions are on the board. Liberty scores 5 of the next 6 goals to take the lead before junior goalie Hallie Figge comes up with this nice save on Falston's Ava Lambros. Minutes later, it's Sophia Carpinetti from free position, and Liberty leads 5-3. Jendrick feeds Riley Matheson, and the senior buries the shot. Lions 6, Cougars 4, with 6 minutes to go in the first half. Falston tries to break through Liberty's defense, but junior Sydney Bolger draws a charge, and the Lions force a turnover. Liberty leads 8-4 in the final seconds of the half, but Falston's Ayla Galloway isn't ready for the intermission. She gets inside the circle and scores just before the buzzer. Cougars trail 8-5 at the break. After Jenna Evans comes up with a ground ball in Falston's offensive zone, Jendrick picks up where she left off in the first half, and her 5th goal of the afternoon makes it 9-5 Liberty. Lambros gets an assist from Sydney Grafton and finds the net. Falston is keeping it close, and the Cougars trail 9-6. Matheson gets a nice pick from Jendrick and creates some shooting space, but Cameron Rohner snags the shot for a save. 2 minutes later, Figge stones Ali Shromsky, and Liberty holds a 3-goal lead with 18 minutes to go. Matheson rolls in from the left side and scores to make it 11-7 Liberty with less than 12 minutes to play. Can the Lions complete the three-peat? Falston isn't ready to give up. The Cougars come back with 3 goals in a row, and when Shromsky puts one in from close range, give Grafton the assist, they trail 11-10 with 5 minutes remaining. Matheson comes up with the ensuing draw control, and Liberty can attempt to take over the final minutes of this game. Emily Spampanato scores from free position, and the Lions are back up by 2 with 3 minutes to go. Falston wins the next draw, but Figge denies Lambros with a critical save. Julia Lucas forces a turnover, and Liberty gets the ball back in the final minutes. How about one more score? Maddie Smith to Spampanato for a late hat trick. It's time for Liberty to celebrate. Final score in the 1A state final is Liberty 14, Falston 10. Ava Lambros leads the Cougars with 3 goals, and Sydney Grafton has 2 goals and 3 assists. But Falston comes up short and finishes the season with a 15-4 record. Taylor Gendrick leads Liberty with 6 goals. Emily Spompanato adds 3, and Haley Figge makes 9 saves as the Lions win their 13th game in a row, their 3rd state title in a row, and finish the season at 16-1. Coach, what was your biggest takeaway from that state championship game, especially in those final minutes as the lead sort of got narrow and then you pulled away?
Falston's a well-coached team, and those girls have no quit in them, so felt like we just needed to keep scoring to make sure we held on to that lead because they played a great game, and I thought our girls played awesome as well.
Absolutely. Coach, we appreciate your time, and once again, congrats on the 3rd state title in as many years. We're not finished with girls lacrosse. Coming up next, we'll show you the 5 finalists for Player of the Year, and we'll make our selection. And we'll also visit with Manchester Valley coach Shelly Brzezicki to talk about the county champion Mavericks. Stick around. We'll be right back.
My name is Ryan Finn. I'm a graduating senior at Century High School, and I did an internship at the Carroll Media Center. I selected this internship because I play basketball, and I saw the CMC at one of our games. I'm very interested in journalism and broadcasting, so it was like a perfect fit. Day-to-day stuff, I would do different type of blogs, reporting, covering, giving out highlights. In the fall, I'll be planning to attend Ohio University to major in journalism and minor in broadcasting. I would definitely recommend the internship at CMC because you work with a lot of great people, and you should give it a shot.
Hey there, I'm Pat Stoetzer.
And I'm Michael Duffy, inviting you to join us for The Score and more.
It's our new podcast, and each week we'll talk about high school sports in Carroll County. We'll share information about upcoming games, highlight coaches and athletes, and much more.
We'll even try to have a little fun along the way. Don't miss the Score and More podcast presented by CMSportsNet.
The Score and More Sports podcast is available online at carrollmediacenter.org and on a variety of podcast channels.
What does it take to cover local high school sports? It takes staff and volunteers, equipment, training, and community support from people like you. You can help by making a donation to the Community Media Center today. Your gift is an investment in our community, our schools, and most of all, our student athletes. We want to expand our coverage to include both boys and girls sports, but we can't do it without your help. So please, make your donation today and help us bring high school sports to every screen in Carroll County.
Now let's say hello to Manchester Valley girls lacrosse coach Shelly Brzezicki. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Pat.
Just a couple quick thoughts about how your Mavericks performed this spring. We know it was a pretty good season.
Absolutely. Fun season. We'll call it a fun season. It was obviously successful on the field, but a lot of fun off the field. So
yeah.
It was great.
Great. All right, well, let's jump right into it then without further ado. The Mavericks put together a season for the ages. They went 19-0 and earned their first state championship in 7 years when Man Valley pulled away from Middletown for a 15-7 win in the Class 2A final. The Mavs scored in double figures in 18 of their 19 games and went 6-0 in Carroll County, but they also handled some adversity along the way. They edged Glenelg in overtime 10-9 to win the 2A West Region 1 title, then outlasted C. Milton Wright in the state semifinals 11-10. Middletown held a halftime lead in the championship game before the Mavs ended it on an 11-0 run to prevail. Emma Penchik scored 9 goals in the state final, and the sophomore led Carroll County in scoring with 93 goals and 136 points. Casey Meredith had 81 points, and Haley Bittinger added 66 for Man Valley. Coach, was there a point during the season that you recalled thinking that this team has a chance to be as special as it turned out to be?
On the field, I would say the Westminster game. It was kind of the game where I thought everything came together from end to end.
Okay.
Off the field, I would say like week 2 of the season. There's usually that little bit of a rough start to every season, I think, a day where you're like, what am I doing? But we didn't have that, and I noticed that my girls were just willing to do whatever it took, and just how close they were with each other, how supportive they were. I knew that they were a special group, but the Westminster game, I think, was kind of a point in the season for us where we were like, okay, this is this is unique what we have on the field, and if we can keep this up, good things are going to happen.
Much was made of your potent offense, and rightfully so. But let's talk about Man Valley's defense for a second. What made that unit stand out to you the most this year? Because it was really good.
Yeah, I mean, we allowed 4.6 goals per game, which is a program record.
Oh, wow, okay.
So I think we were close to 4.7 in 2015. We were young. That's the youngest part of our team. We had 2 sophomores start for us, and then a new goalie and Zoe Castle in goal. So they just talked. They worked well together. Having Sammy Chenoweth as an assistant coach and someone that played defense for us as a Maverick helped. But I would say just how well they play together. And then our midfielders, as good as they are in attack, are also really, really strong defenders.
Sure.
So being able to study our opponents well and be able to execute that was great.
Winning a state title is a big deal, of course, but by going undefeated, does that make the 2023 season sweeter? I know that's happened in program history before, but did that make this year just a little bit more special?
I think the people made this season really special, but obviously going undefeated means, we showed up every day, regardless of who our opponent was or, what the environment was like, or if some of us were sick or ill and not feeling well, that we were able to do what we needed to do to win. And we had some close ones. So absolutely special, something I think they'll always remember.
Yeah. Congratulations on really, really a great season. Now it's time to take a look back at how the Mavericks won their first state title since 2016. It's Man Valley versus Middletown from May 24th at Stevenson University.
Middletown and Manchester Valley met in the final high school lacrosse game of the 2023 season on May 25th at Stevenson University's Mustang Stadium, with the girls' state title on the line. The Mavericks were 1 win away from a perfect season, and the Knights were trying to claim Frederick County's first girls lacrosse state championship. Man Valley starts strong, and Emma Penchik scores here from the 8-meter arc to make it 2-0. Middletown has an answer. The Knights score 3 straight to take the lead, then get a big save from Helen Bartman, who denies Penchik. That leads to a free position goal from junior attacker Kate Stevenson. Knights 4, Mavericks 2. Man Valley draws even late in the half. Casey Meredith gives it to Sarah Brisson, and the senior scores to make it 4-4. Back come the Knights, and when leading scorer Ellery Bowman converts from 8 meters, Middletown leads 6-4 into halftime. Bowman's 4th goal of the game early in the second half puts Middletown up by 3, and the Knights look for more, but Zoe Cassell stones Vera Winchester-Dobman on this shot. Moments later, Middletown goes down 2 players for the remainder of the game because of yellow cards. Man Valley pounces. Penchik scores her 4th goal to make it 7-5. Momentum is turning. Meredith finds some room and scores to give Man Valley the lead at 8-7 with less than 17 minutes to go. Middletown tries to stop the scoring run, but Penchik makes a solid defensive play on Bowman for a takeaway. A few minutes later, Aaron Harold toes the arc, and the senior scores to give the Mavericks a 10-7 lead. Sophomore defender Sophie Baer keeps Middletown from advancing the ball when she snags an interception near midfield and takes it the other way. That leads to Penchik, guess who, one more time, and the sophomore fires a shot to give Manchester Valley an 11-7 lead. The Mavs close this game out on an 11-0 run, and when Haley Bittinger gives to Penchik, the midfielder sends this laser into the net for her 9th goal of the game. Final score, Manchester Valley 15, Middletown 7. Ellery Bowman, who came into the state final with 90 goals on the year, leads the Knights with 4, but Middletown falls short of capturing the title and finishes at 15-3. Emma Penchik fuels the Mavs with 9 goals, and Casey Meredith adds 3 as Man Valley caps a 19-0 season with its first state championship in 7 years.
Coach, take us back to the championship game. We just watched the highlights. There didn't seem to be any worry from your sideline, facing that halftime deficit. Is that confidence in the players and their ability to refocus and get the job done in the face of that adversity?
Absolutely. We're down 2 goals, 25 minutes to go. You know, like that's plenty of time. I knew that we would get our opportunities and be able to score. So we really just focused on what do we need to change, and we wanted them to focus on that. And we just kept saying to them, it takes 30 seconds to score a goal. We need you to go out there and play our game. So
and run away with it for pretty much the rest of the half.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've talked about it over the years, you and I and other coaches too. Maybe now more than ever, it does bear some repeating. What's it like to play in one of the top girls lacrosse counties, not only in the state, maybe even in the country, in Carroll County?
You know, it's fun because you know that every game is going to be competitive. The girls know each other really well, which I think adds a little bit of to the competitive edge and making it fun for the girls. But I think we help each other prepare for those playoff runs. You know, playing in the toughest county helps us know that whatever we see in those games is going to probably be the toughest that we see as we head into the state championship.
It gets you battle tested for whatever lies ahead.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, there were plenty of standout players in Carroll, but only one of them can be named CMSportsNet Player of the Year. For more on that, let's send things over to Brandon Burkhart.
Thanks, Pat. Like you said, we saw a lot of talented girls lacrosse players take the field all across the county in 2023. CMSportsNet narrowed it down to 5 finalists for this year's Player of the Year, as you see here on screen. First up is Century senior Jane Brewer, who led the Knights to 10 wins with 52 goals, tallying 65 points. Brewer, who helped Century win a girls soccer state title in the fall, is a Virginia Tech commit, and she'll be heading to Blacksburg to continue her lacrosse career at the Division I level. Next, we have Westminster senior Jess Kent, who is also bound for Virginia Tech. The midfielder posted 67 goals, tied for second most in the county, and had 89 points, second most in Carroll. Kent led the Owls to a 3A state semifinals appearance. Liberty senior Riley Matheson had 85 points this spring, third in the county, with 52 goals and 33 assists. The East Carolina commit helped the Lions to a 16-1 record and their 3rd straight 1A state title. Shannon McTavish, the 4th candidate on our list, a South Carroll senior and a Mount St. Mary's commit, surpassed 100 career goals this spring. The midfielder posted 72 points, a combined 47 goals and 25 assists to help the Cavaliers reach the 1A West Region 1 final. And finally, Manchester Valley sophomore midfielder Emma Penchik. She led Carroll County in scoring with 136 points, thanks to 93 goals and 43 assists. Penchik helped the Mavericks to a 19-0 record and their first state championship in 7 years. And our choice for Girls Lacrosse Player of the Year, Man Valley's Emma Penchik. Like we said, Emma led Carroll County in goals and points, and she's once again part of the underclass tournament at the 2023 All-America Lacrosse Classic. Emma earned MVP honors at last year's underclass tourney as well. Pat Stoetzer recently chatted with Emma following her sensational season, so let's check it out.
Manchester Valley midfielder Emma Penchik, this year's CMSportsNet Girls Lacrosse Player of the Year. Emma, you've had a couple days now to let this season sink in. You guys went 19-0, won the state championship. You had a huge game against Middletown. What was this whole season like, and what was that final game like for you to cap this whole year off with a title?
The season was just so unreal. The fact that we went undefeated, we won the state championships. It's still sinking in. I'm still speechless about it. I never know what to say, but to do it with this group of girls that we've just grown such a great bond with over the season is just great.
All season long, you guys met every challenge, and there wasn't too much adversity during games until the end of the season. Things started to change a little bit because I know that there's a target on you guys' back when you're that good of a team. You definitely handled it in the Middletown game. They won the first half, and then things changed, and you guys took advantage of the second half. What was it like playing in a game like that where you knew, hey, this is the last game of the season. We've got to correct some things here, or else it's not going to end the way we want it to?
Yeah, I mean, obviously with the tough games that we've had, we know we can compete in them. We know we can come out on top. And with Middletown, even being down a couple goals, we just knew we had to fight together one last time. It was going to be our last game, win or lose, and we came out on top.
9 goals in the final, and I know they asked you after the game if you'd done that before, and you couldn't remember if you had or not. But as the game's going on, and you realize that, like you said, you needed to get things going and score some of those goals. What's it like on the field? Does it slow down for you sometimes when you just get into the groove like that? And your teammates are certainly helping you score those goals. But tell me what that's like when you can get in that groove like that.
The game starts to go by kind of faster as it all just falls into place together and just working together with everyone.
when you did get to 19-0, and when the clock hit 0 and you realized that you guys won, and we talked after that game too, you guys were all excited about it. What were the first few feelings you can remember, like just relief or exhilaration or maybe both?
Both, honestly. I mean, I still couldn't believe it happened. The buzzer sounded off. We all ran, and we toppled down on each other, so we were so excited to see that, the score on the board and the fact that we won the game.
What's it been like this year playing with Coach Shelley Brzezicki and also with a lot of talented teammates? You've got three seasons worth of teams to play on, and you play all 3 sports during the year. But what was this lacrosse year like for you guys? And like we said, to cap it off the way you guys did.
We really just became a sisterhood, and from March 1st to the state championship game, our bond just grew stronger and stronger. And this group of girls with Coach B, it's an unbreakable bond that we'll never forget.
You mentioned how it starts March 1st, but for you, everything starts way back in August 15th or so. You go from soccer to basketball to lacrosse. You barely have a break. You're a 10th grader. I don't think you're getting burned out. How's it feel? I mean, now you've had 2 of these years now, but I mean, do you feel tired at all between seasons, or do you just ramp right into the next one?
Usually just go right into the next one. I'm kind of thinking, I don't have a break, but when I have a break, I don't want one. It's weird not having anything to do, so.
Well, that'll be coming up then in the summer, but I know you're going to be playing sports as well. But you're halfway through your high school career. There's been a lot of success. You've had a state championship now. If you take a minute to think about it, I mean, how have the first 2 years of Manchester Valley gone for Emma?
They've gone really well. I mean, I'm making so many new friendships, whether it's underclassmen or upperclassmen, with all the sports that we've been all playing together, whether it's the same person throughout all 3 sports or just meeting new people in school.
Emma, congratulations on a great year. Congratulations on Girls Lacrosse Player of the Year. Emma Penchik, this year's CMSportsNet Girls Lacrosse Player of the Year. Back to you, Brandon.
Congratulations to Emma Penchik, the 2023 CMSportsNet Girls Lacrosse Player of the Year. Now let's go back over to Pat and Coach and get their thoughts on the selection.
Thanks, Brandon, and kudos to Emma on a stellar season. Coach, how much fun was it watching Emma play all spring long? All year long, really, but definitely all spring long.
It's fun. She's super competitive, which is a lot of fun, not only in the games, but at practice. She's also very funny, I say if I'm playing horseshoes, I want Emma Penchik on my team, So, yeah, a lot of fun to watch her, and we can't wait, and we're excited to see how much more she grows throughout her high school career.
And the cool thing there is that you get her for 2 more years. Obviously, that's a good thing for a coach, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Coach Shelley Brzezicki, I appreciate you spending some time with us today. Once again, congrats to Manchester Valley and Liberty for winning girls lacrosse state titles. And that's at least 1 state champion girls team from Carroll County in every season since 2006. Pretty impressive. Up next, we shift focus to boys lacrosse and see how each county team did in 2023. We'll also announce the boys lacrosse player of the year. Plus, we'll bring you one of the top games from this past season between a pair of familiar foes. Keep it locked right here.
Hey there, I'm Pat Stoetzer.
And I'm Michael Duffy, inviting you to join us for The Score and more.
It's our new podcast, and each week we'll talk about high school sports in Carroll County. We'll share information about upcoming games, highlight coaches and athletes, and much more.
We'll even try to have a little fun along the way. Don't miss the Score and More podcast presented by CMSportsNet.
The Score and More Sports podcast is available online at carrollmediacenter.org and on a variety of podcast channels. Congratulations, Emma Penchik.
The CMSportsNet Girls Lacrosse Player of the Year is sponsored by Genova's To Go. Locations in Westminster, Hampstead, Manchester, Hanover, and Eldersburg. Genova's. Pizza, pasta, subs, and more.
This fall, local athletes take to the field, and CMSportsNet will be there to cover all the action. Become a sponsor, and you can get your business in front of thousands of viewers each week. So contact us today and learn how CMSportsNet can work for you. What does it take to cover local high school sports? It takes staff and volunteers, equipment, training, and community support from people like you. You can help by making a donation to the Community Media Center today. Your gift is an investment in our community, our schools, and most of all, our student athletes. We want to expand our coverage to include both boys and girls sports, but we can't do it without your help. So please, make your donation today and help us bring high school sports to every screen in Carroll County.
Welcome back. Let's shift over to boys lacrosse now, where there were plenty of success stories taking place in Carroll County this spring. Westminster enjoyed winning streaks of 6 and 7 games en route to a 6-0 Carroll County record and the Owls' first county title since 2019. Brady Covey led the way with 51 goals, and Jackson Zaransky handed out a team-best 24 assists. Westminster's defense allowed 5.4 goals per game this spring and only surrendered double digits in the game one time. Winters Mill enjoyed a big surge this spring, and the Falcons went 5-1 in the county, second place in the standings, and posted a 13-3 record 1 year after going 6-8. The Mill beat Gerstel and Century both in overtime early in the season and took county champ Westminster into the fourth quarter before falling short. Reed Postlethwaite led the county in scoring with 55 goals and 72 points, and Camden Deming and Jesse Tobias added 60 points apiece. Another big spring for Manchester Valley as the Mavericks went 4-2 in county play and ended the season at 9-5. JT Calhoun paced his team with 50 goals and 60 points, tied for third most in Carroll County, and Grant Miller provided 31 goals and 26 assists. Century's run as two-time reigning county champs came to an end, but the Knights shrugged off an 0-7 start to finish 3-3 in the county and 4-10 overall. They lost to county rival Winters Mill in the regional playoffs. Leading scorer Jacob Summers had 24 goals and 19 assists. Liberty posted county wins against Francis Scott Key and South Carroll, with the Lions beating the Cavaliers by 1 goal en route to a 6-8 record. But they defeated SC one more time to win a second straight 1A regional title, behind Aiden Ventura's 42 goals and Edwin Blyden's 38 points. South Carroll had a tough start to the season and finished 3-10, 1-5 in the county. The Cavaliers competed, though, with 5 losses by 2 goals or fewer. Cash Stanton led SC with 45 points, and Cutter Stanton led the team with 31 goals. Francis Scott Key struggled to find offense this spring, and the Eagles went winless in county play, but they won 2 of their final 4 games and broke out with 23 combined goals in those wins. Graham Johns led Key with 21 points, and Evan Austin chipped in with a team-high 16 goals. The county didn't crown any boys lacrosse state champs this spring, but Carroll did not lack for great games and close contests. CMSportsNet covered one of those games when Westminster visited Winters Mill on April 25th. It went down to the wire, so let's take a look back at the Owls and Falcons playing in their rivalry game.
Winters Mill hosted Westminster on Tuesday, April 25th in a highly anticipated Carroll County boys lacrosse game, with the Falcons needing a win to lock up their first county title since 2012. And the Owls wanting to inch closer toward their first crown since 2019. Winters Mill converts on offense first with a burst by junior Reed Postlethwaite, who gives the Falcons an early 1-0 lead. Westminster answers in a big way. Max Johnson wins the faceoff and goes all the way for the Owls' first goal. We're knotted at 1 apiece. Cam Webb gets in on the action thanks to a pass from Jackson Zaransky, and the sophomore gives the Owls a 4-2 lead late in the first quarter. Westminster leads after 1, 4-3. Winters Mill keeps pace. Kyle Anderson, who missed a chance to score from short range minutes earlier, gets a pass from Will Litz and finds the net. Falcons trail 5-4 with 5:40 left in the second quarter. Camden Deming tries to tie the score here, coming from behind the crease, but Owls goalie Connor McNamara makes the save. After a nice defensive play gets the ball back for Westminster, Webb does the rest and nets his second goal of the game. Owls lead 6-4 and take a 7-4 advantage into halftime. The Owls try to pad their lead and Mason Fisher takes a rip, but senior goalie Seth Myers makes a nice stop for Winters Mill. Postlethwaite is back on the rush for the Falcons, and he scores here to make it a 1-goal game midway through the third quarter. Winters Mill holds Westminster scoreless in the third, and it's 7-6 after 3. Deming to postal weight, seconds into a man-up situation, and Winters Mill draws even with Westminster at 7-7, 7:20 remaining in regulation. But the Owls find the answer 1 minute later. Austin Hardesty nets his third goal of the contest, and Westminster leads 8-7. Gavin Gifford adds an insurance goal with an assist by Brady Covey, and Westminster leads by 2 with less than 4:30 to play. Final score is Westminster 9, Winters Mill 7. Austin Hardesty has 3 goals, and Cam Webb nets 2, as does Gavin Gifford. The Owls are 10-1, 5-0 in county play. Reed Postlethwaite scores a game-high 4 goals for the Falcons, and Kyle Anderson goes for 2, but they fall to 9-2, 5-1 in the Carroll County Athletic League.
That was fun to watch. And the county produced many more moments like that one throughout the spring. From Westminster's triple overtime win in the season opener against C. Milton Wright, to Winters Mill's overtime wins, to Liberty reaching the state quarterfinals once again. Good stuff all around. We selected 5 of the top players in the county as finalists for the Boys Lacrosse Player of the Year. So let's go back over to Brandon Burkhart to see who came out on top.
Thanks, Pat. It's time to see which boys lacrosse player stood out above the rest as we reveal the CMSportsNet Player of the Year for 2023 for boys lacrosse. And once again, we've got 5 finalists. If you take a look here on the screen, our candidates are as followed. Manchester Valley senior JT Calhoun led his team in scoring with 50 goals and helped the Mavericks to a 9-win season. Calhoun is headed to Frostburg State University next year. Westminster's Brady Covey broke out after missing time last spring due to an injury, but the Owls senior had 51 goals and 63 points, both good for second best in the county. Covey also led his team to a county title. Winters Mill's Reed Postlethwaite finished his junior season with 55 goals and 72 points, both tops in Carroll County. The midfielder was part of a Falcons team that surprised everyone and won 13 games and placed second in the county, and Postlethwaite was a main reason why. Next up is Liberty senior Aiden Ventura. The attackman led the Lions in goals and scoring this spring. Ventura netted 4 goals in the regional final victory over South Carroll on May 15th. Lastly, we have Westminster senior Jackson Zaransky, another standout attackman who scored and assisted his teammates. Zaransky led the Owls with 24 assists and collected 44 points, and he also had 4 assists in a big win over Manchester Valley. And without further ado, the 2023 CMSportsNet Boys Lacrosse Player of the Year for this spring season is Reed Postlethwaite of Winters Mill. Postlethwaite set the tone with the first goal of the game in the Falcons' playoff win over Hammond, and he netted 4 goals in Winters Mill's first county win of the season versus FSK. Pat Stoetzer took a recent trip to Big Mill to chat with Reed about his remarkable season, so let's take a look.
This year's CMSportsNet Boys Lacrosse Player of the Year, Reed Postlethwaite, Winters Mill High School. Reed definitely helped the Falcons sort of come back to prominence this year, and he was a big reason why. When did you know, Reed, that this year was going to be special? Was it the first day of practice, or did it take a couple weeks for you to realize this team could be really something this year?
I think it was definitely, we had a strong few practices in the beginning of the year, and then coming out and beating Gerstel in overtime really gave us that momentum in the beginning of the year, just to come out and just fly around.
There was a lot of talk about the county being strong, and maybe they didn't think about Winters Mill right away. When did you see it from other teams that they were taking you more seriously this year, as compared to a couple of years ago?
I think definitely the Century game was when everyone was kind of like, wow, because, I mean, it just kind of woke everyone up. Going in there, we knew it was going to be like a season-changing kind of game, so it was good.
Led the county in scoring this year, and I believe in goals as well. And that's not something you think of at the beginning of the season. But as the season went on, when did you start realizing that there's a lot of good players on this team? But when the Falcons needed a goal, maybe they went to Reed.
Yeah, definitely starting out, we had some scrimmages, and we have a good offense, so a lot of the guys get involved. Camden had a lot of points this year too, so it's just nice to kind of share it with the guys too.
We were out there a couple of times. You had big crowds for a lot of the games this year. The community got involved again. This program has a state championship on its resume, but it has been a little while since it's been competitive. What made it special this year? You guys took Westminster right down to the last quarter. Really good game. Was it just a feeling of like, hey, we're back and we belong with the other teams in the county.
Yeah, exactly. It's nice to kind of get that culture back here at the school. Last year, I think we went 4-8, and this year we came to like 13-3. So it's just really nice, and we had some good chemistry on our team, and I think it just carried throughout the whole season.
Now you'll graduate some good players, but you're going to bring some back as well. Yeah. What are you most excited about to kind of take the program in the next level, the next step?
I mean, we got a lot of young guys. I think we'll have some solid returners next year, and I mean, we're already planning with coach, like game plan and stuff. So just be excited for next year.
Barely any break. You're already thinking about 2024.
Exactly. Yeah.
Reed, congrats on a great season and good luck next year. Reed Postlethwaite, the CMSportsNet Boys Lacrosse Player of the Year. Back to you, Brandon.
Well done, Reed, and congrats on a great season. Now let's head back over to CMSportsNet's Pat Stoetzer.
Thanks, Brandon. Don't go anywhere. Later in the show, we'll make our pick for Athlete of the Year for the 2022-23 season. And Brandon Burkhardt will be back with recaps of tennis and track and field right after a quick break. Don't go away.
Hi, my name is Ryan Finn. I'm a graduating senior at Century High School, and I did an internship at the Carroll Media Center. I selected this internship because I play basketball, and I saw the CMC at one of our games. I'm very interested in journalism and broadcasting, so it was like a perfect fit. Day-to-day stuff, I would do different type of blogs, reporting, covering, giving out highlights. In the fall, I'll be planning to attend Ohio University to major in journalism and minor in broadcasting. I would definitely recommend the internship at CMC because you work with a lot of great people and you should give it a shot.
Congratulations, Reed Postlethwaite.
The CMSportsNet Boys Lacrosse Player of the Year is sponsored by Genova's To Go. Locations in Westminster, Hampstead, Manchester, Hanover, and Eldersburg. Genova's, pizza, pasta, subs, and more.
This fall, local athletes take to the field, and CMSportsNet will be there to cover all the action. Become a sponsor, and you can get your business in front of thousands of viewers each week. So contact us today and learn how CMSportsNet can work for you.
Hey there, I'm Pat Stoetzer.
And I'm Michael Duffy, inviting you to join us for The Score and more.
It's our new podcast, and each week we'll talk about high school sports in Carroll County. We'll share information about upcoming games, highlight coaches and athletes, and much more.
We'll even try to have a little fun along the way. Don't miss the Score and More podcast presented by CMSportsNet.
The Score and More Sports Podcast is available online at carrollmediacenter.org and on a variety of podcast channels.
What does it take to cover local high school sports? It takes staff and volunteers, equipment, training, and community support from people like you. You can help by making a donation to the Community Media Center today. Your gift is an investment in our community, our schools, and most of all, our student athletes. We want to expand our coverage to include both boys and girls sports, but we can't do it without your help. So please, make your donation today and help us bring high school sports to every screen in Carroll County.
Welcome back. Let's take to the courts and see how some of Carroll's top tennis teams and players performed this spring. Liberty's boys put together a perfect regular season and went 10-0 in the CCAL to win the Lions' 6th county title in the last 7 seasons. South Carroll and Man Valley also had solid seasons this spring. The Cavaliers won 10 county matches, while the Mavericks won 8-3. On the girls' side, it was the Mavs who won their first county championship thanks to a 10-1 record. Their lone county loss came against Liberty early in the season. Westminster and Liberty battled for second place, with the 8-3 Owls edging out the 7-3 Lions. Carroll squads gathered in early May for the annual county championships, which came to a conclusion on May 6th at South Carroll High School, and CMSportsNet was there for the highlights. Let's take a look.
The annual Carroll County Tennis Championships came to an end on Saturday, May 6th at South Carroll High School. Players from all 7 county high schools participated, and Carroll crowned champions in boys singles, girls singles, boys doubles, girls doubles, and mixed doubles. The boys doubles final might have been the most vocal and animated of the entire 2-day tournament, as Liberty's Hayden Spees and Arjun Mistry squared off against Manchester Valley's Anthony Davenport and Tim Woodley. Mystery was back in the boys doubles final with a new teammate after placing second in 2022, and the Liberty tandem took on a new opponent created in time for the county tournament. Davenport and Woodley finished off the Lions duo in straight sets on this point, and the Mavericks celebrate a county title 6-3, 6-3. Century's Allison Carver and Jill Conway returned to the girls' doubles county final, where they placed second a year ago. This time around, the Knights faced South Carroll's Audrey Lillycrop and Caroline Aleftiris. Carver and Conway didn't have to settle for silver this year, as the Century twosome prevailed in 3 sets, 4-6, 6-3, and 10-8. Mixed doubles county final turned into the final championship of the day, with Liberty's Grace Martin and Paul Chu playing Man Valley's Sophia McCoy and Declan McGarry. Martin was part of a girls doubles champion in 2022, while McGarry was part of a boys doubles county crown. With help from Chu, Martin added another county title as Liberty outlasted Man Valley 6-3, 4-6, 10-2. The girls singles county final saw Century's Allison Embry facing Westminster's Daphne Whitmore, a rematch of a 2022 semifinal won by Embry. Embry last week handed Whitmore her first loss of the season, but the Owls Jr. exacted some revenge by winning the county crown 6-3, 6-3.
I definitely thought about the last time I played her, just like, at least just for like strategy purposes, but I was mainly just wanted to stay consistent and hit the ball in, and especially on such a sunny day. Yeah.
Liberty's Honor Zan was back in the boys singles final for the 3rd time in as many seasons, looking for a 2nd straight county title. South Carroll Stephen Cox stood in his way, and Cox wanted to avenge his regular season loss to Zan by winning the county final. Cox did just that and survived some cramping in the 2nd set to win 6-2, 6-1 and take home the county title.
It was definitely hitting with more pace. The last time I lost to Honor, I didn't hit with as much pace, and he gobbled those shots up, the short ones I gave him. I hit stronger, more consistent, and that really worked well with me today.
Congratulations to all of the county champs, many of whom had more tennis still to play. And the best of the best made it all the way to the state tournament in Frederick County, where Liberty repeated as Class 1A team champs behind 3 state finalists, led by boys singles player Honor Zan. Now it's time to change sports and head over to track and field. And it was a banner spring once again for many of Carroll's athletes. The annual county championship for track and field took place May 11th at Manchester Valley High School, where records were set and history was made. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Held Thursday, May 11th, under sunny skies on a warm spring day at Manchester Valley High School, the 2023 Carroll County Outdoor Track and Field Championships included stunning individual performances, leading to a team to repeat on the boys' side and a school being crowned girls' team champion for the first time in more than 2 decades. Manchester Valley took the boys' title for the 2nd year in a row, narrowly edging out runner-up Liberty 149 to 138, with Westminster and Century close behind in 3rd and 4th. The host Mavericks largely have senior Logan Haynes to thank. Haynes collected 4 gold medals on the day, helping his team to impressive victories in the 4x100 and 4x200 relays, while also winning the 200-meter dash in a time of 22.23 seconds. But Haynes' top achievement came in the individual 100-meter race, where he finished in 10.92 seconds to not only win the race but also break the longest-standing individual county meet record set on the track, besting the 10.94 seconds set by Francis Scott Key's Jason Tillman in 1983.
It's really nice. It's my first 100 PR all year. It's really nice to be able to run sub-11 and be able to break that record.
As for the girls, the 3 teams from the southern end of Carroll had taken turns winning the title for the past 13 years, and Westminster hadn't earned the county championship since 2002. But that had changed in a big way on Thursday, as the Owls accumulated an astonishing 225 points to easily outdo second-place Century. The Owls got a typically strong performance from senior Hannah Toth, who repeated as county champion in the 1600 run, and they cruised to the 1300 title by a whopping 25 seconds, as well as finishing second in the 800. Now that Craig also earned individual championships for the Owls, taking on the 100-meter hurdles. Sarah Gassman had perhaps the most memorable day for Westminster. She won the 300-meter hurdles by half a second, posting a time of 51.44 seconds, which wouldn't even be her best event. Gassman, who set a meet record in pole vault at last year's county meet, broke her own mark twice on Thursday, establishing a new standard by successfully clearing 12 feet 6 inches, 9 inches higher than a year ago.
Got to be the first to ask you, how does it feel to set another meet record for the second year in a row?
It feels pretty good. I've gotten a lot better over the past year, so I was really confident, and I just really went for it today and got on big poles, which really helped me.
While the Century girls had to settle for second this year after taking the past 2 team titles, one of the Knights won more individual gold than any other athlete on Thursday. Century senior Isabella Mastro earned 4 county championships. She won all of the sprinting events, taking titles at the 100 meters in 12.57 seconds, at 200 meters in 26.42 seconds, and at 400 meters in 58.9 seconds. She went to the field to cap her day by winning the long jump with the best jump of 17 feet and 2.5 inches. About 1.5 feet longer than any other competitor.
It's nice going into states knowing that it's not just like a couple people, like we have a very deep team that we do have a chance of doing well overall as a team for states.
There were numerous other strong performances. Westminster senior Patrick Haynes was a double winner in his final county meet with PRs in the long jump at 21 feet 2 inches and the triple jump at 42 feet 7 inches. His teammate and classmate Cameron Rucker won the pole vault by nearly 2 feet, successfully clearing 14 feet 4 inches, and Rucker also finished second in the 300 hurdles. For Manchester Valley, Kai Schwang won the 300-meter hurdles and also teamed up with Haynes, Quinn Favorite, and Ethan Hayes in winning the 4x100 and 4x200 relays. Also for the Mavericks, Carter Knox successfully defended his 400 title and took second in the 800. And for Century, a freshman, Thomas Sewell, won the 3,200-meter run by more than half a minute. On the girls' side, Century senior Elena Gifford won the 800-meter run and was also a part of a champion 4x400 and 4x800 relay teams. Meanwhile, Liberty's Ivan Asom, Olivia Dixon, Grace Young, and Amaya Pennington combined to win the 4x100 and 4x200 relays. The top Carroll athletes are now on to regionals and then on to the state championship meet, set for May 25th through the 27th at Prince George's Sports and Learning Complex.
Speaking of the state track meet, Carroll wasn't done mining gold this spring. The county collected 7 titles at the state championships in Prince George's County. On the girls' side, it was FSK's Ashley Porter in the high jump and Adeline Craigs in discus. For the boys, it was Westminster's Cameron Rucker in pole vault, Man Valley's Carter Knox in the 800, and Century's Ryan Hartranft in the 1600. Liberty's Tyler Edson was a double winner in the 800 and the 4x800 relay. Now let's go back over to Pat Stoetzer for more spring sports recaps.
Thanks, Brandon. Still to come, we'll unveil and recognize the 2022-23 Athlete of the Year. We'll also take a look at county baseball and softball, and we'll check in with some of McDaniel College's top spring performers. That's all coming up next on the Spring Sports Wrap-Up Show. Hey there, I'm Pat Stoetzer.
And I'm Michael Duffy, inviting you to join us for The Score and more.
It's our new podcast, and each week we'll talk about high school sports in Carroll County. We'll share information about upcoming games, highlight coaches and athletes, and much more.
We'll even try to have a little fun along the way. Don't miss the Score and More podcast presented by CMSportsNet.
The Score and More Sports Podcast is available online at carrollmediacenter.org and on a variety of podcast channels.
What does it take to cover local high school sports? It takes staff and volunteers, equipment, training, and community support from people like you. You can help by making a donation to the Community Media Center today. Your gift is an investment in our community, our schools, and most of all, our student athletes. We want to expand our coverage to include both boys and girls sports, but we can't do it without your help. So please, make your donation today and help us bring high school sports to every screen in Carroll County.
My name is Ryan Finn. I'm a graduating senior at Century High School, and I did an internship at the Carroll Media Center. I selected this internship because I play basketball, and I saw the CMC at one of our games. I'm very interested in journalism and broadcasting, so it was like a perfect fit. Day-to-day stuff, I would do different type of blogs, or reporting, covering, giving out highlights. In the fall, I'll be planning to attend Ohio University to major in journalism and minor in broadcasting. I would definitely recommend the internship at CMC because you work with a lot of great people, and you should give it a shot.
We're back for more of the CMSportsNet Spring Sports Wrap-Up Show. And now it's time to step up to the plate for county baseball and softball. And Carroll had its share of big moments in both. Let's start with baseball, where Century made a run late in the season trying to capture another regional title. But the Knights' 4-game winning streak came to an end in the 2A West Region 1 final against rival Liberty. Century and Manchester Valley tied for second in the Carroll County Athletic League standings. Blake Kessler and Chase Speeden combined for 14 doubles and 50 RBIs for the Knights. South Carroll also played in a regional final for the second year in a row, but the Cavaliers fell short of another 1A state quarterfinal appearance. Liberty dominated the spring season and won the outright Carroll County Championship, the Lions' first since 2012. Cam Hodges batted .515 with 8 home runs and 44 RBIs, while Rocco Dietz was 5-0 with a 1.36 ERA for the 2A state semifinalists. Over to softball now, where Carroll had a pair of teams make it to the state tournament in 2023, Manchester Valley and Francis Scott Key. The Mavericks rode a 6-game win streak into the 3A quarterfinals before coming up short against Stephen Decatur. McKenna Dean led the Mavs with a .462 batting average, 7 doubles, and 26 RBIs, and she added 9 wins and 92 strikeouts from the pitcher's circle. Now, Liberty finished second in the county standings at 9-2. Kaylin Alt led the way with a .514 batting average, and Aaron Martin drove in 31 runs for the Lions, who battled FSK 3 times this spring and lost 3 times by a combined 3 runs. Francis Scott Key won a softball county title for the first time since 2005, and the Eagles did so by going 12-0 against Carroll foes. Jasmine Klein went 19-1 from the pitcher's circle with 221 strikeouts and a 1.43 ERA. She also hit .480 with 13 doubles, 3 homers, and 21 RBIs. Key bowed out in the Class 1A state quarterfinals. That's it for the county's spring high school sports in 2023, but let's check back in with Brandon Burkhart. He's got a recap of some of the McDaniel College spring highlights. Brandon?
Thank you, Pat. Let's start with baseball, where McDaniel posted a winning season led by second-team All-Centennial Conference pick Jake Smith. The junior outfielder batted .417 in the conference and had 33 RBIs. Junior infielder Tyler Yan hit .331 along with 31 RBIs and was also a solid glove in the field for the Green Terror, who went 19-17-1 this spring. McDaniel softball had 3 players named the All-Centennial Conference second team: senior Evie Craig, junior Michaela Calamita, and grad student Katie Newton. Craig and Calamita each reached 100 career hits this spring, and Newton batted .438 to lead the team. Heading over to lacrosse now, Jason Fritz led McDaniel's men's lacrosse team with 33 goals, and the sophomore attackman was second with 57 points. Junior A.J. Johnson, a Westminster graduate, netted 20 goals as the Green Terror finished 7-10. Junior Emma Miller landed on the All-Centennial Conference second team for McDaniel women's lacrosse. Miller led the Terror in goals, assists, points, and draw controls. Her 121 draws set a new program record and was one of the top in all of Division III. One track and field athlete of note was senior Nick Razzie, who won 4 medals at the Centennial Conference Championship meet. One of them was gold when Razzie placed first in the 400 hurdles. Plenty of standout performances on the hill this spring. That will do it from McDaniel College, so let's send it back over to Pat.
Thanks again, Brandon. All right, we've reached the moment many have been waiting for. It's almost time to announce the CMSportsNet Athlete of the Year for 2022-23. You won't want to miss this, so stay with us. The Spring Sports Wrap-Up Show will be right back. Hey there, I'm Pat Stoetzer.
And I'm Michael Duffy, inviting you to join us for The Score and more.
It's our new podcast, and each week we'll talk about high school sports in Carroll County. We'll share information about upcoming games, highlight coaches and athletes, and much more.
We'll even try to have a little fun along the way. Don't miss The Score and More podcast, presented by CMSportsNet.
The Score and More Sports Podcast is available online at carrollmediacenter.org and on a variety of podcast channels.
Hi, my name is Ryan Finn. I'm a graduating senior at Century High School, and I did an internship at the Carroll Media Center. I selected this internship because I play basketball, and I saw the CMC at one of our games. I'm very interested in journalism and broadcasting, so it was like a perfect fit. Day-to-day stuff, I would do different type of blogs, reporting, covering, giving out highlights. In the fall, I'll be planning to attend Ohio University to major in journalism and minor in broadcasting. I would definitely recommend the internship at CMC because you work with a lot of great people, and you should give it a shot.
What does it take to cover local high school sports? It takes staff and volunteers, equipment, training, and community support from people like you. You can help by making a donation to the Community Media Center today. Your gift is an investment in our community, our schools, and most of all, our student athletes. We want to expand our coverage to include both boys and girls sports, but we can't do it without your help. So please, make your donation today and help us bring high school sports to every screen in Carroll County.
Welcome back, and let's get right to it. CMSportsNet has chronicled the county's top athletes throughout the 2022-23 sports year, from fall to winter to spring. There were numerous examples of outstanding efforts, talent, and skill, but we came up with one choice that rose above all others. And here to unveil the Athlete of the Year, once again, is Brandon Burkhart.
Thanks again, Pat. Like you said, we had plenty of deserving choices for an Athlete of the Year award, but we kept coming back to an individual who played in 3 sports this year and was the Player of the Year in 2 of them. From leading his team on the football field last fall and capping an amazing wrestling career in the winter, the 2022-23 CMSportsNet Athlete of the Year is South Carroll's AJ Rodriguez, who finished as the 2nd leading rusher in Cavaliers football history and won another wrestling state championship and was also a key member of the boys lacrosse team. Pat chatted with AJ just before he graduated from South Carroll, so let's check in with our Athlete of the Year.
The CMSportsNet Athlete of the Year for 2022-23, AJ Rodriguez, South Carroll High School. AJ, 3 sports this year, excelled in all 3. Let's start though with back in the fall. You had a lot of good memories on this field here, Parker Field. You led South Carroll to another county championship. You got the Cavs back to the state tournament, state playoffs. What were some of your best memories this season, helping the team do what it did on the football field?
Being able to play with both my brothers. I loved every second of it. Like against FSK, I saw my freshman little brother score a touchdown. My middle brother's a sophomore, scored a touchdown, and I scored a touchdown. It was pretty cool for me and my parents to see that.
As your football career went on and it culminated this year, maybe people thought you were maybe a little too small or maybe not built to be a football player and do the rigors, and obviously you proved them wrong if there were any doubts. Did you use that as motivation because you use your speed and your skill? Maybe you weren't the biggest, strongest guy, not that you're not a strong guy, but just was that ever a source of motivation for you that gets you to where you are right now?
I mean, yeah, I'm not your typical running back. Like I'm kind of built like a receiver, but I kind of use that as motivation when I'm in the gym. You know, people say I'm too small, not fast enough, all that. I use that as motivation in the gym, and I'll come out on the field and prove that, you know, I'm a running back.
What was it like to have the stands packed here all the time for your football games last 2 seasons, especially this year? Coach Krause leading you guys to a lot of victories, getting to the finals as a junior and back to the state tournament as a senior. Some good memories, I'm assuming, from being a football player at South Carroll.
Yeah, I mean, we have a really great community that comes out every Friday to come watch us, home or away, and to be a player and to score in front of all of them is pretty cool.
You went right into the wrestling room after that. You're no stranger to the wrestling room, of course. Another fantastic season, helped the team win a dual meet state title. You guys dominated the whole year. You got your 4th career county title, and then another state championship too. The transition from football to wrestling is quick, but how are you able to sort of not let it? Sometimes it takes a little while to get ready for wrestling. You guys were right from the jump, ready to go. Is that just from all the years you spent in the room?
I mean, I've been wrestling for 13 years, and when I've gotten to middle school, I sort of never stopped wrestling. It's kind of like a year-round thing for me. So I've been training a little bit during the football season, not as much as I would during the winter, but I'm training here and there to keep myself in shape for wrestling for when it starts.
Take me back to Showplace Arena. There's always nerves when you go into a match. I'm sure a big match, but you guys are so laser focused that you and your South Carolina teammates to finish strong with state championships. When you got the 3rd one for your career, what was that feeling like, knowing that you got your mission accomplished, basically, to finish the season on top like you did?
Yeah, our coaches told us, they put all the seniors aside, this is your last 4 matches at Showplace. You got to make it special. And to end my high school career with my 3rd state title is pretty awesome.
Then you went right into the lacrosse season and played some defense for South Carroll. Back on this field, and I know you do it to kind of keep going and stay in shape. How much fun is lacrosse when you're out there? It's a little less pressure, I'm sure, but still some assignments out there that you need to do for the team.
Coach Breen, kind of talked me into playing. He told me this is my fun sport, and it really was a fun sport. I got to guard all the best players in Carroll County, challenge them a little bit, and work on my agility out here. It's pretty cool.
Now, there is a little bit of a break for you, but not much. We know you're heading off to University of Maryland for wrestling. When does that start, first of all? When do you have to get ready to become a college wrestler?
June 18th, I'll be down there. It's my first training day.
Only a few weeks away.
Yeah.
You've had a little bit of time now for your final high school season to end. What are some of the biggest memories? You might have mentioned a couple, but just overall, your experience at South Carroll, one of the best running backs of all time, obviously one of the best wrestlers of all time at South Carroll. Where do all those things rank in your high school career?
Winning my first state title as a freshman, that year was pretty challenging for me. I was cutting a little bit of weight, still a young freshman, and being able to win that first state title, it kind of helped me a lot and boosted my confidence a lot in the wrestling aspect. And for football, just scoring my first varsity touchdown as a sophomore, I got pulled up fresh against FSK, and when I got that, I was nervous. And when I got that, I scored a punt return. It really helped me feel better about myself playing football.
Yeah, and then you fast forward all the way to the end there where you're getting to go play at Navy as a junior in the state finals, and even this past year almost eclipsing your coach's rushing record. You got close, but just those little individual things, the career wins, wrestling, the career rushing touchdowns. I think it'll take a little more time for it to all sink in that how accomplished you did in your 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, it went by really fast, and I didn't realize what I was doing at the time. I was just playing ball or I'm just wrestling, so yeah.
Well, it was fun to watch and a great career. Congratulations, AJ. AJ Rodriguez, the CMSportsNet Athlete of the Year for 22-23. Back to you, Brandon.
Once again, a big congrats to South Carroll's AJ Rodriguez, this year's CMSportsNet Athlete of the Year. And once again, for the final time, let's send it back over to Pat.
Thanks, Brandon. AJ Rodriguez is our second CMSportsNet Athlete of the Year, following Century grad Caroline Little. And that's going to do it for the Spring Sports Wrap-Up Show. My thanks to our studio guests, Liberty Girls Lacrosse coach Tom Brandell and Man Valley Girls Lacrosse coach Shelly Brzezicki. Also, congratulations to Spring Season Players of the Year, Winters Mills Reed Postal Weight for boys lacrosse, and Manchester Valley's Emma Penchik for girls lacrosse. Please check out all of our high school sports coverage from the 2022-23 season on CMSportsNet.com, Facebook, and YouTube, and on cable channel HD 1086. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you next time.